In episode 8, Jinwoo sees his chance and takes it. Activating Dominator's touch, he grabbed Baron's arm, twisting it with all his strength until it snapped. With one final move, he delivered a crushing blow to the Demon King's jaw. The impact was so strong that Baron's head flew off, his body crumbling in defeat. A system notification appeared. You have defeated Demon King Baron. You have obtained Baron's soul. As the message popped up, Jinwoo suddenly collapsed. Essel rushed over, worried, but instead of concern, Jinwoo just smiled and said, "Essel, tell your father, the Red Eru clan has claimed first place." Hearing this, Essel's eyes welled up with tears. Moments later, the dark sky began to clear and sunlight broke through. Jinwoo gathered his rewards. First was the Demon Monarch's Ring, an artifact that boosted his intelligence and senses by 20 points, completing the set needed to unlock the Monarch's full potential. Then, he received the Demon King's Longsword, a blade crackling with lightning energy. Each swing unleashed a powerful magic attack. On top of that, he found the Demon King's Dagger, which increased his attack power by a massive 220 points. But the real prize was the purified blood of the Demon King, a rare ingredient needed to create the Holy Water of Life, a potion with miraculous healing abilities. Without wasting time, Jinwoo started crafting it. A system notification warned him the success rate and quantity depended on his intelligence stat. He broke into a cold sweat, realizing he should have focused more on boosting it, but when the countdown ended, you have crafted 6 bottles of Holy Water of Life. Relieved, Jinwoo hoped this potion could finally cure his mother. He couldn't wait to return to the hospital. Just then, Iron arrived, dragging a massive wyvern's corpse. Jinwoo grinned. "Good job, Iron. You're getting smarter." He raised his hand and spoke a single word, "Arise." A dark shadow stretched from the wyvern's body, shifting and morphing. Soon, a colossal wyvern stood before him. A system message popped up. "Shadow successfully extracted. Please choose a name for your soldier." Jinwoo thought for a moment before naming it Kaizel. The massive creature let out a deafening roar, celebrating its rebirth. Essel suggested they ride Kaizel back to the clan, but Jinwoo had other plans. He needed to get to the hospital immediately. Before he could move, another system notification appeared. Quest completed. Rewards, major stat boost, prestigious title, and ultimate runestone, shadow exchange. Jinwoo activated the runestone, instantly unlocking the shadow exchange skill, allowing him to swap places with any of his shadows. With this, he could reach the hospital in an instant. He turned to Essel. "Sorry, I can't go with you to the clan." Dark shadows wrapped around him as he activated Shadow Exchange, and in an instant, he was gone. One of his shadow soldiers appeared in his place, leaving Essel sighing in confusion. Meanwhile, Jinwoo reappeared near his home. Without wasting time, he summoned Kaizel, hopped on its back, and soared through the night sky toward the hospital. At the Korean Hunter Association office, Jinchul and Mr. Go were deep in discussion about the upcoming Jeju Island raid. Mr. Go voiced his concerns. What if the ants returned to their nests sooner than expected? But Jinchul reassured him, Goto Ryuji's jamming signal will block their communication. We have it under control. In the middle of their talk, Mr. Go suddenly froze. A massive surge of magical energy washed over him, making his heart pound. Across the city, Yunho felt it too. The energy was so overwhelming that some hunters assumed it was coming from Hunter Choi or Hunter Cha, who were nearby arguing over their guild shares. Min Byung-gu, an S-rank healer, casually made that remark before returning to the discussion about the raid. But none of them realized the true source of that overwhelming power wasn't a hunter. It was Jinwoo and Kaizel, soaring high above the glowing city, casting a shadow over the skyline. Jinwoo arrived at the hospital and quietly slipped into his mother's room through the window. Standing by her bedside, he hesitated. Would the Holy Water of Life really work? This potion was his only hope to wake her from her endless sleep. Taking a deep breath, he gently poured it into her mouth. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, slowly, color returned to her face. She still hadn't opened her eyes, but she no longer looked pale. Jinwoo's heart pounded. "Mom, You're the reason I want to be stronger. Please, open your eyes. Let me carry the burden you've held onto for so long." And then, a miracle happened. His mother's eyelids fluttered, and she slowly opened her eyes. When she saw Jinwoo sitting beside her, she smiled. Jinwoo froze, his hands trembling in shock. His mother reached out, holding his hand gently. "You kept your promise," she said softly. "I know life must have been hard for you since I got sick." Hearing those words, Jinwoo couldn't hold back his emotions. Tears spilled down his face. The next morning, Gina rushed to the hospital the moment she heard the news. As soon as she saw her mother awake, she broke down, wrapping her in a tight hug. The quiet hospital room was suddenly filled with warmth and joy. Jinwoo stood back, watching the beautiful moment unfold. All his efforts had finally paid off. This was the greatest gift he could ever receive. But deep inside, something felt off. Ever since becoming a hunter, he had drifted away from the people he loved. Now, as he stood there, a strange loneliness crept into his heart. Later, while taking a break at a nearby park, Jinwoo checked his phone. It was flooded with missed calls. As he scrolled, a news article caught his attention. Mysterious dragons spotted flying over Korea. Jinwoo blinked. Wait, that's me and Kaizel. Just then, his phone rang. It was Mr. Go, and he sounded anxious. "Jinwoo, where are you? I can come to you right now." "No need," Jinwoo replied. "I'll head to the association soon." A little while later, Jinwoo arrived at the Hunter Association office. Mr. Go wasted no time and got straight to the point. "In 4 days, we're launching a raid on Jeju Island to wipe out the ant monsters. We need your help. Are you in?" Jinwoo hesitated. Normally, he would have accepted immediately, especially since the island was swarming with high-level monsters. But this time, his mind wandered to his family. Did he really want to make them worry again? Before he could answer, something caught his attention. A powerful surge of magic filled the air. His instincts kicked in and he immediately turned toward the source. Mr. Go chuckled. "Your senses are sharp, Jinwoo. You noticed it right away." He then explained that the energy was coming from the Korean and Japanese S-rank hunters who were currently sparring in the gym to prepare for the Jeju Island raid. Among them was Goto Ryuji, Japan's strongest S-rank hunter. Hearing that name only piqued Jinwoo's curiosity. Inside the Hunter Association gym, 2 powerful figures clashed, Baek Yoonho and Ma Dong-wook, the Guildmaster of Fame Guild, one of Korea's top 5 guilds. Their battle was so intense that the shockwaves could be felt throughout the entire arena. As Jinwoo and Mr. Go entered, Mr. Go nodded toward them. "That energy you sensed earlier, it's coming from their fight." Jinwoo crossed his arms, watching the battle unfold. "This is getting interesting." Jinwoo watched as Baek Yoonho struggled in his match. From the sidelines, Choi Jung-in muttered that if Yoonho was going all out, Ma Dong-wook wouldn't stand a chance. Yoonho had a habit of holding back, sometimes too much, making it hard to tell if he was sparring or actually fighting. Just then, 10 S-rank hunters from Japan entered the gym. Among them were Ippei Azawa, Mari Ashida, Ken Tanaka, Minoru Hashino, Atsushi Kumamoto, Kanoe Tawada, Tatsumi Fujishima, Kei, Akari Shimizu, and their leader, Goto Ryuji. Jinwoo's gaze immediately landed on Ryuji, rumored to be Japan's strongest hunter. Meanwhile, Akari noticed Jinwoo standing alone and curiously asked who he was. Hanekawa, their translator, explained that he was Sung Jinwoo, Korea's newest rank hunter. Ryuji, watching from afar, sensed something off about Jinwoo. Even though Jinwoo was suppressing his power, Ryuji could still feel a hidden force within him, one that seemed perfect for an assassin-type hunter. But Hanekawa corrected him, explaining that Jinwoo was officially classified as a mage-type hunter. That caught Ryuji off guard. Even the Korean hunters were paying attention to Jinwoo now. Lim Taegu recognized him as the guy who humiliated Lee Min-sung during his debut. It was his first time seeing Jinwoo up close. Hunter Cha, sensing the change in atmosphere, glanced over at Jinwoo. At the same time, Kei, with her sharp sense of smell, wrinkled her nose at the strong scent of magic lingering in the air. Meanwhile, Baek Yeonho and Ma Dongwoo were still going at it. Watching them, Hanekawa muttered that Japan's hunters were obviously stronger than Korea's. Ryuji didn't fully agree. He acknowledged that some Korean hunters were worth watching, specifically Hunter Cha and Mr. Go, who he believed could hold their own against Japan's best. But Hanekawa's dismissive comment rubbed Park Jung-soo the wrong way. As the guildmaster of the Knights Guild, one of Korea's top guilds, he wasn't about to let that slide. "You sure talk big for a translator," Jung-soo remarked. "You want to back that up?" Hanekawa smirked and casually suggested a duel. Whoever grabbed the other's arm first would win. No need for an all-out brawl before the Jeju Island raid. Jung-soo accepted. Hanekawa struck first, moving fast with a series of quick attacks. But Jung-soo dodged each one with ease. She pushed harder, but suddenly her arm was knocked back. Jung-soo grinned. That wasn't even an attack, just a little push. Annoyed, Hanekawa taunted him about his torn pants. Taking advantage of the distraction, she lunged again. But in a split second, Jung-soo grabbed her arm, ending the duel. He smirked. Fighting humans is tricky. They don't follow set patterns like monsters. Ryuji, impressed by the match, made a suggestion. Why not have another sparring session, this time between S-rank hunters? Mr. Go agreed, but pointed out that non-combat types, like mage hunters, wouldn't be able to show their true abilities in a spar. Jinwoo proposed a change in rules. Instead of just grabbing an opponent's arm, touching their back or knocking them out would also count as a win. He also suggested making it a team match. Ryuji instantly saw the advantage, knocking out an opponent-suited assassin-type hunters like himself. He agreed and the match was set. Team Korea had Baek Yeon-ho, Ma Dong-wook, Hunter Cha, and Lim Tae-gyu, while Team Japan had Ken Tanaka, Minoru Hashino, Atsushi Kumamoto, and Konoe Tawada. Jinwoo, standing on the sidelines, watched with interest. Ryuji had chosen to sit out, likely to observe the Korean hunter's skills. Jinwoo figured he was lucky to witness a rare match like this. As the fight began, Ma Dong-wook activated his skill, growing in size. Tanaka was impressed by his raw power and charged forward to match it. Their fists collided, shaking the entire arena. Meanwhile, Hashino went after Lim Tae-gyu, but Tae-gyu kept his distance, firing magic arrows at him. Hashino dodged but was clearly struggling. Mr. Go watched the chaos unfold and noted that, even though the gym was reinforced with high-grade magic stones, these hunters were strong enough to shake the entire building. On the other side, Yuno faced off against Kumamoto, but Kumamoto, feeling uneasy, hesitated mid-fight. Sensing something was off, Yuno narrowed his eyes. Suddenly, his hands turned white, his claws extending as he lunged forward. Kumamoto barely dodged in time. Then, a loud explosion echoed through the gym. Ma Dong-wook had been defeated by Tanaka, who proudly declared himself the winner in their battle of strength. At the same time, Tae-gyu was sent flying into the wall by Hashino, who smirked in victory. Now, Baek Yeon-ho was left alone against 3 opponents. He realized the Japanese team was avoiding Hunter Cha and targeting him first. Meanwhile, Tawada found himself overwhelmed by Hunter Cha's unpredictable speed. Known as the Dancer, her agility made it nearly impossible to land a hit on her. With a sudden burst of speed, she appeared behind Tawada and tapped his back. Game over. With her opponent defeated, Hunter Cha quickly rushed to help Baek Yeon-ho. Just then, Kumamoto lunged at her from behind, but in a blink, Hunter Cha landed a rapid barrage of punches straight to his face. Shimizu and Fujishima, watching from the sidelines, were stunned. She had thrown 14 punches in a single breath. Realizing she might have overdone it, Hunter Cha panicked. Kumamoto, now furious, lost control. The Japanese hunters tensed up, knowing how dangerous he could be in this state. Ryuji frowned. If this kept up, someone was going to get seriously hurt. Enraged, Kumamoto launched a brutal attack, his punches hitting the ground with enough force to crack it. Hunter Cha dodged, but she was backed into a corner. With a final devastating blow, Kumamoto struck, only for Jinwoo to appear in front of Hunter Cha, blocking the attack effortlessly. Kumamoto's eyes widened in rage, and he swung again. but Jinwoo moved in a flash, locking him down and slamming him into the ground. Ryuji, watching closely, was shocked. That kind of movement, was he really a mage tab hunter? There was something about Jinwoo that didn't add up. He needed to find out more. With the sparring session over, the Japanese team had claimed victory. Baek Yeon-ho, frustrated, clenched his fists. He had given his all, yet the gap between them was too wide. As the gym settled, Hanikawa approached Jinwoo. "I have a message from Ryuji," she said. Ryuji stepped forward, his gaze sharp. "Sung Jinwoo," he said, "I challenge you to a one-on-one match." Jinwoo smirked slightly. He could feel it. Ryuji wasn't just being competitive. He genuinely wanted to test his limits. And Jinwoo was more than ready. That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time.